Hey everybody, welcome to Bearded Baker Banter, the sports podcast, where we always talk about sports. Welcome Trent, welcome Trey.
How you doing, fellas? Good to be back. Big John filled in great as always.
Yes, he did.
But glad to be back to ruffle your feathers, and go back and forth with you guys. So I'm excited.
Sounds like a little turkey reference. We're not into November yet, Trey.
I totally forgot Trey was going to be back this week. Damn.
That's right.
Sorry, I couldn't cancel him again, Trent.
Man. Just kidding, Trey. Glad to have you back aboard.
No, it's okay. It's all right.
All right.
Feels good to be back, though.
Well, boys, we got some sports to talk about here. We are going to start off with the ever-popular NFL. So let's take a little look at this. I do have one thing I'd like to kind of bring up first here to start. And it really kind of goes back to, I think, Trent's point about games right now just kind of being blah. All right, and I really kind of look at it, and I think Richard Sherman had mentioned it in a Sports Illustrated article about referee accountability. I think there's too much power right now in controlling the game at major aspects, major times, and major calls. That I think that's honestly, I'm kind of pinpointing that as to why the games right now just suck for me sometimes. So not even betting wise, I'm just saying I'm just like frustrated. It's like, oh, yep, 3rd and 8, yep, this is gonna be a flag. It's almost getting too predictable and it's frustrating. So
Yeah, I know what you mean. Some games, it's like they don't call anything. Some games, they call every little tic-tac penalty they can. And it does. Sometimes when there's no flow to a game, it kind of just takes away from it.
Yep.
And yeah, you do see that with, I would say, almost half of the games every week. Some games it's controlled by constant flags. Other times it's they let them play and they don't call anything. But yeah, I agree. Chuck Pagano tweeted out an idea about being able to challenge anything in the last 2 minutes of each half. Penalties you're usually not allowed to challenge everything. So pretty interesting to see that thrown out there. I don't know if
I think that came straight from Jim Irsay, the Colts.
No, what did I say?
Chuck Pagano, the old Colts.
That's what I meant. Whoops.
Yeah.
Whoopsie.
That's all right. Jim Irsay, Jim Irsay did tweet that out. Well, I'm sorry. Posted that out on X, not Twitter anymore, Trey. It's moved on.
All right, I'm getting back in the groove of things.
Shout out to Elon. That's all right. Yeah. But yeah, it's posted. But yeah, that was Jim Irsay that had said that, and I think that is a very interesting point. Kind of looking at, hey, let's open it up because these are some key moments. But I'll tell you what, and I think you mentioned it point true too as well. The flow. It's not just the last 2 minutes of the game; it's the flow of the game. These games are clunky. Tonight, sorry, watching or you're listening here Friday morning, but the game Thursday night here, with the Bills, there's no flow to it. It's oh yeah, we're just gonna kind of go. It's score here, score there. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But Trent, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Trey, I'm kind of reflecting on this whole idea of being able to challenge penalties. I think if you guys recall, the NFL tried to save face after that terrible missed pass interference call on the Rams Saints that one year.
Yeah.
And they tried coming up with a way that, okay, now, because, it literally cost the Saints chip to the Super Bowl, and I believe the Rams won the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah.
Maybe not. No, you know what? I think they lost.
I think the Patriots beat them. I think the Patriots beat
them. Yeah, that was the most boring Super Bowl in the world that year. But I think they tried to save face by saying, oh, in the future, yeah, we can review or challenge. You can challenge pass interference calls because the thing is, the NFL is going to have the refs back, no matter what. If you can challenge a penalty, they're going to say it's still a penalty because they don't want. I just look at it this way: it's like every time they bring these stupid retired refs on to talk about it, one, they never are willing to make the actual call themselves,
right?
But they're always going to side with the officials, right? Because they want to cover their ass. So it's frustrating because you're right. I just say two penalties that drive me absolutely nuts is offensive holding, and mainly because you took the winds from my sails there, but offensive holding because you want to sit there and make the claim that happens every play, but it's only called on what seems like the big key convenient play.
Yep.
Yeah,
and then
third downs.
Yep.
And then what also drives me nuts is with how hard it is to play defense in the NFL anymore. I just feel like anytime a team is like 3rd and long or, a crazy down and distance, a defensive holding, which is a 5-yard penalty, but an automatic first down, it's a killer.
Yeah.
And once again, that is something that a lot of times guys, they're going to reach, they're going to grab a little bit on the outside. But I just, once again, especially when it's like, oh, the guy didn't even get the ball thrown to him at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like calling the holding on the backside block of a play.
Yeah.
Like that's just like, come on, dude. Like that's crap.
The other one that goes kind of hand in hand with defensive holding is the illegal contact.
Illegal contact. I was just going to say that's what you're starting to see even more now. Illegal contact.
So you could it's the same thing. You see a little out or a 10-yard out route on the opposite, not even where the ball is being thrown to, completely opposite side of the field, and a cornerback will bump him into it when he's trying to go out or something like that, and they throw these BS flags on these incompleted third downs that just continue drives and
kill games. They kill games.
It does kill games. It's not. Those aren't fun games to watch when it feels like games are decided by referees.
Yeah.
But hopefully there is some accountability soon, like Richard Sherman said, and they have. You know what? They should grade referees and make it public after every week.
Yeah. Yep.
Grade them.
Hey.
Yeah.
I can tell you what their jobs are.
We might
have to revisit that.
I just, what, you bring up the idea of grading it, but isn't that like also the frustration with what the NBA does with that like final whatever minute report that they release, and then it comes out and they're like, oh yeah, sorry, we missed that play. Oh yeah, sorry, we missed that play. I mean, and here's the thing: it's at every level of the game. Even in high school, from our experience. Oh, just send me the plays, coach, that you had questions about, right? That's what they tell high school coaches. You send them the plays, and then their response back is, yeah, we missed those. You're right. I'm like, oh, you missed those? You mean all 12 or 13 calls?
Right.
Like I mean, it's just it's frustrating.
I see what you're saying, Trent, but you know who does a great job, I think, of grading their umpires is the MLB.
Yeah.
After major games, you see a chart of balls they got right that were, like, percentage-wise, you get the exact calls that they missed, and they get, like, a literal percentage out of 100.
But then how the hell is that angel umpire, the angel guy, how the hell is he stopped job?
And guess what? He does not do important games.
But he does games, period, is ridiculous. He should be gone.
Well, yeah, I agree. I completely agree. And I think they are working on phasing him out, but they're also in the middle of a lawsuit with him, so that probably wouldn't be a good thing to just completely sever ties with them. Yeah.
Well, I think if you blow there has to be some level. If you blow a really big call, sorry.
Wow.
I think a portion of these officials' game checks should be gone.
Well, okay, so then that takes me back to another point, though. Then they need to be full-time. They need to have full-time officials.
Absolutely.
Full-time officials. These guys shouldn't be teachers. They shouldn't be lawyers. They shouldn't be, in the public realm of things, because obviously everybody's going to have an opinion on games, gambling on games. Hey, guess what? Guess what my bet is this week? All right, not saying that they have to dictate it, but I guarantee they're going to put it in their ear, all right, once they find out what game they're doing.
Yeah, and also...
it's in the back of your mind.
Speaking about... I just wanted to touch base on something I thought was interesting. I would hate if they offered betting lines on total penalties in a game like you guys said last week. I would absolutely despise it, because that would just make my skepticism just jump through the roof.
Yeah.
About games being controlled and everything like that. And a ref would just throw a BS little penalty here.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's something, it was kind of a joke, but at the same time,
I know. I just
make some money a different way. Maybe it's a way to kind of save face on some of your bets. But game wise here, you guys have any previous games from last week that you kind of want to just recap, or even headlines that have kind of been turning up here?
I got a headline for you, fellas. Well, I'm going to start it off with this, and then give me a second. I want to finish my thought. The Titans are sellers.
Yeah, I saw that.
Whoa! So they already got rid of, I believe you pronounce it Bayard.
Yeah, Bayard.
Yeah. So he's an Eagle. Derrick Henry is on the block, and from what it sounds like, the Ravens are the hottest team in pursuit for Derrick Henry, with a close second with Derrick Henry, but all indications right now are saying Ravens.
Who's the close second?
Who did I say?
You
said Derrick Henry.
What?
You said Derrick Henry's a close second.
Sorry, the Cowboys.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Sorry, I meant to say the Dallas Cowboys.
So Derrick Henry's a close second. Like, what the hell does that mean?
Okay, yeah, what's that mean?
Twist. He's trading for himself. No, but I'm going. It right now is Ravens. Yeah. Ravens and Cowboys are in hot pursuit. Ravens being the team that supposedly has been the most active towards trying to acquire him. And then it also now has been released this week that DeAndre Hopkins is available.
And nobody wants him.
Nobody wants him.
Nobody wants him. He's being shopped and nobody wants him. I saw the same rumor that's out there.
Which in reality, then I think teams are just going to wait till he gets cut or released. And then, honestly, if you're the Ravens, if you can add Derrick Henry and DeAndre Hopkins to your squad, why would you not? Like,
I mean, obviously you're looking at the Titans are bailing.
I'm surprised the Chiefs aren't adding Hopkins.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's true.
I could see that happening. But why, okay, so what are the Titans bailing for then? Are they bailing for picks of the future? Are they bailing for a quarterback?
Yes, they are.
Are they bailing for Marvin Harrison Jr.? What are they bailing for? I mean, are they sold on their quarterbacks? Because it's now been 2 years in a row that they've actually drafted a quarterback at a decent spot. We haven't seen anything as to what Will Levis can do.
I was going to say, I don't think you can move on from him because how do you know what the hell he can do?
That's my point. So what are you moving? Are you moving up to get somebody that maybe like an overrated Caleb Williams? I don't know.
No.
I'll tell you what the Titans' best pick was. Their best thing that they could have done, and what they should continue to do, is they drafted Peter Skornowski from Northwestern.
Yeah.
For their first pick. Keep drafting guys like that and just build up around them, and then get weapons you can dink and dunk to with Levis. And I mean, that's the way to build a team nowadays. It seems like.
I think they got to bring Will Compton back.
Oh, jeez.
Lead that team to victory, man. Dude's amazing.
I honestly, I do, Tyler. I think they're just trying to load up on as much draft capital as possible. Yeah. I don't think they're selling to get a quarterback. I think they're just selling to get weapons. Yeah. I mean, whoever the first guy taken besides a quarterback is absolutely going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. So it's like, or sorry, as they like to say, Maserati Marv. But
I hate that guy.
I know. Sorry, had to do it once. But yeah, I mean that would be a smart pick. I mean, I think they are realizing their biggest mistake, and quite honestly, I think it was the downfall of their team.
Yeah.
Was handing off AJ Brown to the Eagles.
Yep.
Right? Like what sort of conspiracy is out there that they are trying to help the Eagles win the Super Bowl? Because you've now basically handed them AJ Brown, and now you've just traded them the safety buyer. Like it's just like
and they got Bayard for like nothing.
Just like they did with AJ Brown.
A 4th round pick and a 6th round pick, and like, come on, what are you doing?
Yeah. So Titans are selling, boys. That was one of my big headlines that I saw this week.
Yeah, I had that down as well as one of my headlines too. Trey, any headlines from you? Anything from the past week here that discuss?
Come on,
not really.
Trey, say it. Trey, say it.
I mean, I was a little disappointed that I was missing the week following a 49ers loss, and I'll be darned that they blessed me again with another one this week.
Yeah, they sure did, didn't they? Niners defense is like a sieve. 463, I believe, was how many yards they gave up, and you got Wilkes who's running, zero coverage blitzes here in very important times. I don't like it. He needs to get his ass on the field and start calling the defense from the field, like Saleh did, like D'Amico Ryans did, and get out from the booth and come down with your guys, because that's what they feed off of. They feed off the guys. And if you can't get it done, then let's bring in somebody else because you have a freaking talented-ass defensive line and 0 sacks on Kirk Cousins after he threw for over 40 times. It's bullshit. So
you bring it up. I have a couple just little tidbits I wanted to add to this game.
Sure you do. I got a lot of tidbits to add to the Packers losing to the Broncos.
Hey, misery loves company, Tyler. Yeah. Trust me, I'm there with you. It's miserable for us as a Packer nation. So,
hey, all I gotta say is welcome to my life as an NFL fan. Okay.
Well, hold on. Tyler's team is still going to be the Super Bowl champs, so
Agreed.
Breaks a little bit.
Agreed.
But anyway, just a couple tidbits I wanted to bring up about the 49ers.
Pineapple tidbits?
Pineapple tidbits, or
just copy me?
Did you say that?
I just said pineapple tidbits, and then you repeated it like an echo.
I did not hear that. I'm sorry. Pineapples. Sorry.
So anyway, under Kyle Shanahan, the 49ers are 0-36 when trailing by 8 or more points in the fourth quarter, including regular season or playoffs. They are 0-25 when it's 5 or more points in the fourth quarter. Only the Panthers have a worse record. The other thing I want. No, this is serious. The other thing I wanted to say is that no team since Kirk Cousins has been in the league, no team has gone on to win the Super Bowl if they lose to Kirk Cousins in the regular season.
Oh, hey, Tyler, you realize what I love is Trey came off kind of like, nah, I don't really have much to talk about. All right, let me just mention this.
And he's an asshole. He's got all these data and details. He got statistics.
He was deep in the NFL statistics about
on Next Gen Stats website.
I love it.
Yeah,
That's
hilarious. I was just I missed it last week. I had to get my shots in this week. So
yeah.
Hey, don't worry. The Packers, you could. I'm well aware of how atrocious they are.
No,
so. You lost to the Raiders and the Broncos. Oh my God!
All over the Packers. So, Russell Wilson, let's ride all over the Packers.
Oh, that's all right.
I'm gonna make a bold statement about the Packers this year.
First overall pick.
They draft a quarterback, first overall pick with their first round pick.
Wow,
some talent out there.
Why would you not at this point?
I think if they get up early, like second or third pick, I think they try to get Marvin Harrison.
I think you got to have somebody to give them the ball.
Okay.
Rather than the other team the ball.
They said they're not giving up on him yet, so let's just relax.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting. I would like to give
him this year.
I would like to give myself a shout out on calling the fact that the Patriots were going to beat the Bills last week. So I'm just going to pat my back on that. So run that tape back.
Whatever.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
We did not see that coming at all. But you know what it did do.
What did it do?
Gave Mac Jones a W in the win column for me there.
It's true.
All right, cheers.
All right.
Hey, what's the Bears record anyway?
No, it's got to be. I said he has to start the game.
No.
Yes, I did. Tyler, we'll roll the tape.
Hey, we'll roll it. I'm not going to roll it right now.
Yeah, roll it now. Roll it now, Tyler. I got a game, little statement here. I think you guys will agree. We were highly questioning this line last week, but the Lions got humbled. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not saying that they were full of themselves because they're kind of blue collar working type team, but geez, I didn't see a Lamar Jackson led offense doing that to that Lions team.
No, not with that kind of a defense too. Because their defense has been pretty sturdy.
Dude, the Ravens' defense is a Super Bowl caliber defense.
No, I'm talking about the Lions' defense, though. Lions' defense has been pretty sturdy, and for the Ravens to hang 38 like they did and just kind of walk all over them and do whatever they wanted to do,
yeah.
I didn't expect it, and it does come into question. Then who are the Ravens? I mean, shit, you got 1 week where they look like garbage against the Steelers, who can't do anything on offense, and then you're going to hang 38 points on the Lions, who've been pretty hot this year. I don't know. Who the hell are they?
I mean, the Ravens-Steelers game is always that way. Like a 12-9, 4 field goals, 3 field goals. One team always comes right back at the end and wins it with some mediocre field goal kick. So, my thing is if the Ravens add if they could add a receiver and a running back here before the trade deadline's up, watch out. I think they're a favorite. I think they're going to be a high. Actually, I'll say they're a sleeper for the Super Bowl. You can get them. You can get them for plus 1,200 right now with the Super Bowl.
Interesting.
And that's. I mean, you'd think if they had Derrick Henry, there's no way they stay at plus 1,200.
Yeah, that's true. Couple upcoming games here to kind of take a peek at too. Moving forward is.
Wait, are we done with our headlines?
I don't think we are.
Well,
I don't think we are either.
Kind of moving forward too.
Oh well, let's keep going.
You got another headline?
Hell yeah, dude.
Hey, give me your headline.
There was one game I wanted to talk about.
Well, I'd like to. I'd like to talk about my team a little bit here in these blunders.
You would?
Yeah, I do want to talk about it. I need to get off my chest. Okay. Let's look at the Raiders and the laughing stock that they are, right? So already Baker Mayfield gets on a plane, flies over the night before a game for the freaking Rams last year. He comes down, wins it on a game-winning drive, right? Mm-hmm. That was last year. Jeff Saturday gets named head coach, laughing stock of the NFL. Can't believe they just hired this guy off the streets. His head coaching debut. Raiders lose to him. And now you're facing, no offense to Division II, but you're facing, what is his name, Tyson Bagent?
Bagent.
Yeah, okay. You lose to a Chicago Bears team. Awful, right? You lose to a Chicago Bears. Not just lost. You got your butts kicked by a Chicago Bears team with a rookie Division II undrafted quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, is it like, how are not all of those fireable offenses for McDaniels?
That was quite an interesting sentence you said there. How are not all of those?
Whatever. But anyway, listen, that's how it's true, because they are double negative. They suck. They suck at sucking, right? I don't know, but
they do, because they also have 3 wins.
Get rid of McDaniels. It's done. The time is that he's a fraud. He's an absolute fraud, and I think the players are turning on him. They're turning on him so much. I just happened to come with a quote.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, here we go. Trouble in Vegas. Anonymous Raiders player spoke out regarding head coach McDaniels. It is not going well. We have to go in, watch film, and listen to the coaches blame us again for a loss. So after that, I'll be good. Our offense is old school, not up to date. If you watch the best offenses in the NFL, the Niners, the Eagles, the Dolphins, they use the entire field. They use every player they have and are creative as F. Not like us. They have fun playing ball for us. It's a job. For us, it's a job. Sorry. They've been running the same shit for 20 years, and they're too hard-headed to change. That's why we lose. Been saying it since last season. It's hard to win when you're too damn predictable. It's the worst feeling on offense when the defense calls your plays out and knows what you're running every single snap. Chicago did that constantly. And I know I said anonymous player. That is 100%.
Devontae?
100% Devontae. Yes. That or it's him or Josh.
I was going to say, it could be Josh Jacobs, too.
Yeah.
And you got to think, though, too, with McDaniels being there, I mean, you also see the kind of staleness, with the Patriots still, where Belichick is, and he has O'Brien there. I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, maybe it's stale.
Yeah. I think maybe it just gives us much more of an appreciation for how freaking good Tom Brady was. Oh, yeah. Because he made those guys look like gods in the NFL.
Well, especially with the fact that he never really had superior, talented star wide receivers and star running backs. Yeah. And he made players who they were. He got them the ball. Yeah. They worked hard. They had great timing. He did what he had to do. So, yeah, I agree with that. Definitely gives you appreciation for Brady. But yeah, I was actually trying. I did have who are the Raiders? I don't know. You're what, 3-4 now this season?
Yeah.
Very interesting matchup this week against the Lions. Obviously you guys had a bad loss. The Lions are coming off of a terrible loss as well.
Jimmy G might be back though.
I don't. Yeah, and I again, does that make the difference? I mean, in my mind, I would always say yes because it's Jimmy G. But
he's just going to get hurt again.
He's as fragile as an antique.
Yeah,
like that.
He sure is.
Yeah, he goes down faster than a submarine with screen doors, huh?
There it is.
That's weird.
It's from a show, Trey.
Yeah.
Trey, your headline.
Yeah, not really a headline. Just something that I thought was crazy was the Chiefs-Chargers game. Really thought it was a statement game for the Chargers to really come out and play play a division round, like at least play them tough to the end. You know what I mean? Give yourself a chance to win the game. Maybe it's just possession. I mean, you gotta do something with Justin Herbert there and all that talent around him. But I think from here on out, the Chargers are in must-win territory. Well, I shouldn't say the Chargers, but Staley, their coach.
Yeah.
I truly do not understand how he still has a job right now. I really think it's going to come down to this week. They play the Bears. If they don't win definitively, or God forbid they lose that game, he's got to be gone. There's no excuse at this point anymore. But the Chargers are 2-4. If they drop to 2-5 with all that talent, that's just pathetic in my eyes. But
especially signing money Herbert too.
Preaching to the choir, Trey. Called for his head to be fired preseason.
Right.
Should have been fired last year.
The only other thing that was I thought kind of funny about that game was the over-under was 48.5.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
They scored 41 points in the first half and 7 in the second half.
Yep, that sounds about right. That sounds about exactly how things would go.
God, I couldn't imagine how I'd feel if I had that.
Yeah.
But anyway, we can look forward to week 8, is it?
Yeah. I think it's week 8, yeah. So, one game I definitely had circled, and I'm sure, Trey, you'll definitely want to talk about this as well, but definitely had the Vikings-Packers circled here, especially with the spread of being only -1.5 for the Vikings after the Vikings are coming off a pretty big win for themselves. If you listen to that locker room, definitely seemed like the guys are all on board. The guys are all buying in there. I was very interested to see the Vikings at only -1.5. Tell me I'm wrong why I should not take that.
I wouldn't tell you you're wrong. I think you should take that 100%.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, because the Packers, they're just really hard to watch. They don't even have like exciting players.
It is in Green Bay, so I mean that could be the only biggest thing. But that is actually one of my bets there is the Vikings -1.5, just because I'm not sure what you're getting from the Packers. I think the Vikings defense is starting to step it up. I'll be interested to see what happens to Hunter, trade block wise. I've definitely seen his name floated around a lot. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, even without Justin Jefferson, you got some guys stepping up for the Vikings there to make some big plays. So
Jordan Addison is a real deal.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna be a talent. And if they keep Jefferson and him, get a quarterback, I mean that could be scary.
Hey, it could be Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Shout out to Coles. So that was the game I had circled. Trent, any game circled here for you?
Well, I would say that is actually one of my best bets. Like my best of, I have 4 games lined up, and that one is like, yep, give me that for sure. Mm-hmm. So, it proved me wrong once again. Whenever you think a line is a surefire thing, that's when that line comes back to bite your ass. So that always concerns me. But I had Vikings -1.5 listed as my best bet. However, looking at some of the other games, I like these other 3. I'll rattle them off real quick. Mm-hmm. I love Texans -3.5 at the Panthers. I love the Colts +1 versus the Saints. Colts are a home underdog right now.
Yep.
And then I love the Chiefs -7.5 at Denver.
Interesting. Game kind of makes me a little bit nervous.
You said that last week when I took Chiefs. I said Chiefs -5.5. Give it to me. It was my best bet last week.
I know. I don't know. I don't trust the Chiefs to be the Chiefs at this point in time. Broncos,
6-1.
I know. I understand that. I understand what they are. But Broncos D can show up. They can show up. So that's just, I don't know, something interesting.
They can't. They're the worst in the league still, Ty.
Trey, games to keep an eye on. You don't have to necessarily give picks, but any games to keep an eye on with headlines or anything.
I'll give the one game I'm definitely going to keep an eye on, and I'll give my picks. The game that I'm interested to watch, one, because kind of just the situation around it is just wild to me. But two, because one of these teams is going to be 5-2.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Browns-Seahawks game.
Yep.
It blows my mind that Deshaun Watson isn't out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's taking every opportunity to sit out of games, to not start, to not play, to not be the guy.
And how much money is he taking in?
Exactly. It's guaranteed contract. I think he's milking that to its fullest. And in an interview today, someone called him out, and he got real defensive, and he looked real bad and uncomfortable. And I'm glad someone did, because, if I'm a Browns fan and you pay that guy that amount of money to literally have your franchise by the balls, and you're not going to play games when you're cleared to play.
Yeah, he was cleared, I know, and he said no.
You were medically cleared to play, and then all of a sudden now you want to sit out to rehab your shoulder, which wasn't even the problem.
Right.
While you were, it's such a weird situation to me, but I want to watch that game because the Browns' defense is solid, and I think it's the only reason why they're having success. I mean, shout out to, what's his name, PJ Walker, for being that guy for every team like that when their quarterback does go down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's the game I'm keeping an eye on. In terms of my picks,
well, real quick, I do think Deshaun is massaging all the money he can out of him.
There it is. There it is.
I was waiting for a little segue there, but go ahead.
Yeah, but no, I'm with Trent with the Texans -3. I think
got
the
him for
Panthers
3.
Yeah,
Trent had 3.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the lines I got, because I'm actually on the opposite of Trent on one bet. I got the Saints +2.
Wow. Okay.
But I would take a -1. I would still do that. I think the Saints, their defense is legit. I think they're in a spot where they.
Olave playing this week?
I know he's arrested, but I doubt they're going to suspend him yet. They got to investigate and stuff.
Well, it was speeding, wasn't it? It wasn't
right.
70 out of 35.
35 miles per hour over the speed limit.
Okay, but it wasn't what's his face going 120 miles an hour.
Yeah,
it was 70 out of 35.
I know, but I'm just still saying it's like same stuff could happen though. Like it's just.
I disagree, but it still wasn't Henry Ruggs 125 miles an hour.
Yeah,
guys, I'm not defending Henry Ruggs.
Sounds like it might be a little bit.
Yeah, not a chance.
Go ahead, Joe, I'm sorry.
But I do hate your pick because Derek Carr, he's gonna have nightmares playing in Indianapolis.
I don't think so.
It's Minshew Mania. It is Minshew Mania.
Christmas Eve.
I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
Got the Fu Minshew.
The last game I like is actually two more games. I like the Dolphins -8, and I also like the Lions -8.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, only game that you guys didn't really talk about. Well, I got a couple here that we haven't really talked too much about, but I had the Jets and Giants on my radar. I'm taking Jets -2.5 in that game. I think that. I don't know. I think defense of the Jets will still show up. I think Zach Wilson's going to lead them to another victory. It is what it is. But got to continue to truck towards that 10 win streak there, 10 win column, so I can win my bet against Trent. But yeah, I'm going Jets -2.5. The Chiefs Broncos game. All right, I'm staying away from spreads on there, but I will definitely take under 47 in the Chiefs Broncos. I think the Chiefs will have a little bit of trouble scoring. I think the Broncos just don't score, so I think it's definitely under 47. And then the other one, I feel like is always a safe bet, is to take the under in the Steelers games, because Matt Canada can't run an offense, so therefore Jacksonville also can't score. So I'm taking under 41 in Jacksonville and the Steelers. So it's kind of the games I'm at, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, the game I am keeping an eye on, obviously, as a fan, is the Niners-Bengals. Supposedly Brock Purdy today may be cleared to practice full tomorrow. which may be one of the fastest somebody has ever recovered from a concussion. I'm still kind of on the aspect that I think Shanahan might have been protecting Brock Purdy from the media this week. After everything that's going on, I think the concussion thing. I'm not saying it was an excuse, but I think he was trying. I think he was trying to protect him a little bit from the media of just being a young quarterback that's, could catch the blame, for 2 interceptions. Yeah. Defense didn't help though, but Bengals Niners definitely going to be interesting. They're back in Santa Clara this week, so Cincinnati's got to make a trip. All right, we'll see what happens, but hopefully they figure it out. Anything else here, guys? You guys feel that?
Ooh.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Anybody got a B teaser?
I sure do. I sure do have one. So I'm going a 6-point teaser here.
All right.
I'm going to take the Vikings +4.
Okay.
I'm going to take under 42.5 in the Jets-Giants. I'm going to take under 47 in the Jags-Steelers. And then I would like to take the Bengals +10 as well.
Okay. Trying any teasers?
Go ahead and share yours first.
So I have so mine's a 6.5 teaser. My lines were a little bit different, Trey, than yours, but actually some of them still came out to be the same. I took mine on, I believe it was on FanDuel. Jacksonville Steelers, I have under 47. I have the Colts +7.5. I got the Texans +3. I got the Vikings +5, and I took the over 32 in the Browns Seahawks. So it's a 6.5 teaser, and I believe it was about, I think it was 290, +290. So not bad. Little five legger there. Teasing the bees.
That's spicy. You're going with the 5 legs.
Yeah, I usually try to stick at 4, but I don't know. Some games that are interesting here that piqued my interest, if you will.
Okay.
5-figure teaser.
Oh baby. All right. Well, I'm only going 4. Mine was for +6 points, and it comes out to be just +240 on the odds. But I got the Eagles teased down to -1. I got the Colts teased to +7. I have the Texans now at +2.5, and then I have the Steelers +8.5.
Okay.
So
that's good.
Yeah, I usually have taken your advice, Trey, earlier this year, talking about not taking a favorite and teasing them down to win by less, because you're right. I agreed with that, where there were times where that comes back to bite you. But, I haven't done it all this year, and I figure with the Eagles, that's basically taking them straight up money line in that teaser to win. So
pick'ems are, if you tease it down to a pick'em, or I don't know, -1 is a little risky, because if it's a push is a loss and a tease. So
yeah, that's true. All right, hey, great teases. Let's move on to some exciting college football. College football definitely has had some entertaining matchups this year. A couple big games this past week. One of the big sore thumbs I know for you, Trey, was the Penn State game last week, Penn State, Ohio State. So I kind of would like to just start there, and just any thoughts on Penn State, Ohio State here, because I'm not really sure what's going on.
Yeah, what's going on is it's just, God, we live in like Groundhog Day, that Bill Murray movie. We have all this hope. We have this phenomenal defense. We have win big games early in the season, and then once we get to Ohio State, we just cannot do it.
What big game did you guys win?
No, when we get to a big game.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm trying. Listen, you're preaching to the choir here. We have not won jack shit since Franklin's been there. I'm going to say Ben Franklin.
Seems that long.
Hey, it's electric.
But seriously, what is he, 2-13 against top 10 teams or something like that?
Some
stupid statistic. And here he is, the highest paid coach in the Big Ten.
let me drop this little statistic for you.
Yeah.
Tony Elliott of Virginia. He's been a head coach. He's been a head coach for 1.5 seasons. Top 10 road wins. He's got 1. Franklin, 12.5 seasons as a head coach. He's got a big old goose egg, 0.
Yeah, and you know what? Franklin's one interview he had earlier this week. It was awesome. His response was awesome. It was probably true. But you know what it comes down to is Aller had to throw the ball in that game. He had to. The run game wasn't there. The ground and pound, running on first, second, third down, first down, long drives. What has been working to begin the season was not working, and they had to throw the ball. He looked atrocious. He looked so uncomfortable. I think he finished like 17 for 36.
It's that Larry Johnson defensive line, though.
Well, that's okay.
From Ohio State, seriously though, like let's be honest.
Either way, no. What I'm saying is they never let him loose prior to this game. Now you're gonna ask him to throw the ball 30 plus times.
And that's the other thing I was gonna say is how many of his passes though were just tiny little dink and dunk passes that aren't going to do anything against Ohio State offense.
Yeah, he was afraid to take a risk.
Ohio State defense. Yeah.
No, but hold on. Was it the quarterback's fault or
I'm not, and that's exactly. I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm saying I don't think he was given an opportunity to throw it downfield.
It was run up, third and long pass.
Yes.
Run up, third and long pass.
Like a Josh McDaniels offense.
It was awful.
Wow.
It's true.
It was awful.
Yeah, and I mean, give props to our defense because I know what's his name, Marvin Harrison got his, and he's going to because he's that type of player. But to hold them to 10 points in the first half, 20 points each half, or 10 points each half, that's pretty freaking good.
Yeah,
you hold an Ohio State team to 20 points, you should win that game.
Oh, totally, absolutely. You have to do something on offense.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about we could hate on this as much as we want, but Franklin will not get fired ever. He could continue to lose like he is for probably another 7.5 seasons, right? To make him at 20 seasons. Because here's the thing, Penn State was looking for a lifer.
Yeah.
Right? Although I don't think they got a lifer, because I think Franklin will leave for the next big thing. Totally got as much money out of them as he could when he played the little game of, I heard this school, USC, and some of these schools are interested in you. And he said, I always listen. He knew what he was doing there.
Yeah.
But quite frankly, I mean, the guy, like Trey said, he gave a great speech. Yeah, that's what he's good at. He's good at giving a good speech. He's good at handling the media, right? He's good at recruiting and talking. But, man, he hasn't. You know, the only time that they had a good team was when they had Moorhead as their offense coordinator. Should have fought like hell to keep him more. That's a guy they should have paid more to stay because that was the team. That was
then we got screwed out of the playoff.
Could you say, like the old saying, that Franklin could sell ketchup popsicles to a person in white gloves?
Yeah,
I love that. Absolutely.
But as bad, can I just state something here, guys? Because as bad as we are trashing, I'm just picturing ketchup popsicle. This sounds disgusting.
I'm just imagining someone wearing white gloves, just like.
Yeah.
Can I have a ketchup popsicle, please?
Why are you wearing white gloves?
In the first place, what are you, Mario?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Or the little hamburger helper guy. I don't know.
No, he was just a glove.
I know, but he was a white glove with only, I think, 3 fingers and a thumb.
He looked like an hug.
No. He walked on 3 legs.
What? That was Tyler. I hate to break it to you. That wasn't a 3rd leg. Gotta hand it to him.
Hey,
anyway,
hamburger helper out.
Whoa, easy time.
What?
So,
I mean, he's leaving. Helper out.
Right, sexualizing hamburger helper.
Okay.
Yeah, that's disgusting. I'll never eat it the same way ever again. Anyway, so we can, hate on Penn State. I think we were all frustrated with that game. But we're going to also have to, as hard as it is put some respect on Ohio State. Because quite frankly, in my opinion, I know they're not looking to be like, wow, McCord can win a game with his arm. I don't think he's proven that yet.
I wouldn't be doing that.
Nobody has the resume that they do right now. They should be number one with their schedule and the quality wins that they have. You beat a top 10 Notre Dame. You beat a top 10. I'm saying right now, I know they got to play Michigan. Okay, then rank them high. And if Michigan beats them, they beat them. And Michigan will probably steal their signs again. But I want to rattle this off. In the last 10 games, okay, this is every Big Ten team's last 10 games against Ohio State. Listen to this domination. Purdue is 3-7 versus them. Michigan 2-8 versus them. Michigan State 2-8, Iowa 2-8, Penn State 1-9, Maryland 1-9, Rutgers 1-9, Wisconsin 1-9, Nebraska 1-9, Illinois 1-9, Northwestern 0-10, Minnesota 0-10, Indiana 0-10. That's the only team that has more than 2 wins is Purdue.
Yeah, that's what kind of didn't think of that.
Yeah, I would. Most people would have probably said Michigan, right? Yeah. But man, that's the Big Ten is theirs. Simple as that. Nobody is going to claim that from them. And Penn State is just I guess I don't have to say it, like the ugly third stepchild or something like that. To those, they want to pretend they're real. They'll get all the preseason hype year in, year out, and they blew it.
Yeah.
So Tyler, you were the only one out of all 3 of us to pick Ohio State to win the Big Ten, and I'm not saying it's over yet because of Michigan, but it looks good.
That might be the only team I have left. To be perfectly honest with you, but
it's true.
I don't know. Yeah, because who knows what's going to happen with Michigan, but
the one game I wanted to point out is not necessarily like a very important one because they ended up still winning it, but just the what happened during the game is Washington, Arizona State 15-7.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, Michael Penix really shrunk his chances at winning the Heisman.
They still won.
No. J.J. McCarthy for Michigan is now number 1 in the Heisman odds here. So
they got to win out.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that. I mean,
2 picks didn't help. I mean, and honestly, the only reason they won the game was because their defense. Which, Trey, you bashed their defense 2 weeks ago.
I didn't bash their defense.
You did. You bashed their defense, and you said the reason that Oregon will wipe them off the face of the earth is because of how bad Washington's defense is.
I said because of how good Oregon's defense was.
And you also claimed that Washington's was that bad. But that's the only reason. That's the only reason they won that tough game. I mean, here's the thing: they still won the game.
Arizona State is 1-6 in their own four.
But you just came off of a big game. What I'm saying is that you had to show up, you had to win the ugly one, and their defense did it for them.
Yeah, they're still undefeated, but I'm more talking about in the Heisman race.
Yeah,
that really took a shot at Penix there.
I think. Go ahead.
No, yeah, you finish what you're gonna say.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say him not reaching 300 yards and throwing 2 picks. It's almost like Caleb Williams.
So thank you.
Playing himself out of the Heisman.
So that's actually the perfect transition because that was actually my next talking point that I wanted to bring up. Is USC drops 2 in a row, almost dropped out of the top 25 now. All right, and let's look at an interesting little statistic here. But Caleb Williams has never beaten Utah.
Wow.
So something that I kind of found very interesting, but I don't know what's up with USC. They were scoring 1,000 points earlier in the season, and I don't think they're dogs this week, but they're actually only 10.5 favorites against a struggling California team. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Is that you were 20-some favorites over everybody, and now you're only a 10.5 favorite against a California team that's not that good.
So, love that line. Love that line, by the way.
I love the fact that USC was a favorite or an underdog last week at +3, and that was awful. Or was that 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, that was 2 weeks ago in Notre Dame.
Yes, yeah. Notre Dame.
So, Yeah. So that's just my 2 cents there. USC game, obviously interesting. I did want to mention the Washington game. Trent, give you credit to this. UNC drops a big one against a Virginia team that is not good.
It's Mac
Like
Brown,
you said,
baby.
Mac Brown, mid-season football. Mentioned it earlier. I would like to point out that Minnesota had a nice little upset against Iowa last week.
That was not nice. That was bullshit.
Well,
That was
I picked
terrible.
Minnesota to win the game.
That's worst call. That might be the worst call up there with frickin' what's it called? The tuck rule.
22 points. 22 points in a game, 12-10.
Yeah,
The final.
we joked about that. That over-under was 30.5.
Yeah. So 22 points, that's pretty interesting. That actually, the under actually hit.
Yes, it did.
All right. Anything else here past week? We ready to move into this week?
No, I think are we just going to completely ignore the hottest headline of college football?
No.
Michigan stealing sign scandal.
That was my transition into this week, but that's fine.
Oh, well, that's the headline before we start picks. But
no, we weren't doing picks. I have some games to watch.
Oh well, yeah. I'm just putting this. I mean, let's just summarize it for anybody that's for some reason not aware of this. So they had a paid person on staff going to games, scouting, videotaping, and recording signals for plays. They now have evidence of individuals on their sideline holding sheets of body motions for signals. There's a budget for this whole sign stealing debacle. It sounds like there's a Venmo history and everything about sending things for tickets. And then there's even film of the guy standing on the sideline who is accused of stealing the actual signs. I mean, they show him looking at the sheet, watching the other coaching staff, and signaling it to the defense, which is nuts. So I don't know. But me personally, it's something that happens, and if there's more and more coaches that you hear signs are stolen. I just don't know if they've ever been stolen to this extent, So I don't know. What's your take on it? I'll just make a prediction. I don't think the NCAA does a thing until 3 or 4 years down the road.
Which is probably like most big scandals is they're going to let this year ride out. They'll deal with it in the offseason. I don't know. Do you strip Michigan if they win the national title this year? I don't know. What do you like? What happens? Like, I always think that was the stupidest punishment ever. But I don't know. I think Matt Rule kind of said it best in the one video, just that rules are rules. There was a couple different videos that were floating out there, but he did say rules are rules. If you're doing something like he's being accused of, it is what it is. But he also said at the same time, like, update. Let's update. Let's get the headsets like they do in the NFL.
Yes.
Let's actually prepare these guys to play at the next level. And I think that was probably the best argument is like, listen, maybe it is time now.
You never said it, Tyler?
What's that?
Nick Saban today at the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah.
When I actually heard that, I was mind blown because
Matt Rule called that first.
Well, yeah, but I actually think you're right because Nick Saban gave him credit. He said the guys that have been in the NFL know that there's a discrepancy going from the NFL to college because of the signs.
Right.
Because you got 3 guys wearing different colored shirts over there doing crazy stuff just to get everyone on the same page. And it's actually more complicated because every single person on the field has to understand the signs.
Right.
Have a coach calling a play, maybe 2 plays, audible if you need to. That eliminates this problem.
3 of them.
Well, either one. That eliminates this completely. And Saban said it today. He's like, yeah, the NFL guys know that this is a possibility when you come back down to this level. And what blew my mind is that they're not already doing that.
Yeah.
I could have sworn they were. Yeah. And then once they said they aren't, I was like, holy crap, like this is a simple fix.
Yeah, it is. It's not like they don't have the technology to do it either.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, interesting take. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, they could, try to make Harbaugh be an example of something. I know the NCAA does not like Harbaugh.
Exactly.
I know the media doesn't like Harbaugh. Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see kind of what comes of this. But I don't know if anything will to come of it this year just because of how hot Michigan is. I'll be interested to see if this changes Michigan's trajectory of winning lately. Maybe not because now this guy's under fire. Obviously, they're gonna not have the advice as much, but I don't know. We'll see. But probably should have been pass interference there. All right. So some games.
One prediction. I think you guys are right. The NFL is going to wait to make a decision or a disciplinary action.
NCAA.
And I think, or what did I say?
NFL.
Oh yeah, sorry, but I think Harbaugh leaves after the season to go back to the NFL
for sure.
He's going to avoid any disciplinary action.
Yep, for sure.
To the Raiders.
Maybe that was floated around before.
Draft McCarthy to the Raiders.
Oh my God! What?
Take him. I'll take it.
Draft McCarthy.
All right, some games to watch this week. One I wanted to start with is Oregon, Utah. I think you got Big O versus Big D. Take that for what you will.
Did there.
But yeah, big Oregon's offense versus Utah's defense. Very interesting matchup here. Total points right now is 47.5. I feel like Utah usually plays their kind of football, even though it does get ugly. I think you might see Oregon win the game with Bo Nix, but I don't think Oregon's going to put up the kind of points that they actually are capable of putting up. That's just my humble opinion. But any thoughts on the Oregon-Utah game here?
I think Oregon wins it pretty handedly.
There he goes again. Is Utah's defense terrible? They're going to get wiped off the face of the earth?
You didn't say that. I did not say that.
Okay.
I like Utah covering. I think it comes down to a late field goal by Oregon to potentially win it. But some news out of Utah is Cam Rising will not play a snap this year the rest of the way.
Interesting.
So he might be in college for like an 18th year. But I did like Utah at home versus Oregon this week to cover 6.5.
Okay. I like
one pick.
I like that under 47.5 right now. I like 47.5 under. I prefer 48.5, but we'll kind of wait and see where that kind of goes. But right now, I do have the under 47.5. But just my thought.
I like Duke plus 4.5 at Louisville.
Okay.
Ooh.
Duke's coming off a tough loss.
It's a must win for Duke.
Yeah, but Trey, are you gonna act? I would wait to take that because word is quarterbacks very highly. He's doubtful for Duke.
But it doesn't matter.
Dude, their offense without him is non-existent. If you watch,
Oh, I'm taking him plus 4.5.
Okay. All right.
I think it is a must win for Duke. If Duke still wants to stay in the conversation, being a decent team, you've had two opportunities here. One you let slip away against Notre Dame, and then last week, Florida State kind of took it to you a little bit. So I think if Duke actually wants to stay in a conversation here as being a decent football team, they got to beat Louisville, which Louisville is tough. So it should be a good game though. What, 20 versus an 18 or something in terms of rankings. So should be a good game. But
two other bets I like before we move on. I like Colorado State plus 14. Sometimes I see 14.5. I would snag that in a heartbeat. I also like Tennessee minus 3.5.
Don't like that.
I do.
I'm a Tennessee fan, and I think Kentucky's a threat.
I have three other picks.
Okay.
I got Florida plus 14.5 versus Georgia.
I also have that, Trent. It's
Georgia's
new quarterback.
New quarterback.
Yeah, Bowers out. Remember?
Bowers is the tight end.
Not Bowers. I'm sorry.
Beck is out.
Yeah, quarterback's out.
No, Bowers is out. Tight end's
Bowers out.
Yeah, tight end's out. He got that.
I thought they said the
ankles.
quarterback's out too.
Nah, I didn't see that. The quarterback's out. I'd love it even more.
Hold on, I'll double check.
I think Georgia's quarterback really relies on Bowers, digging him out of some rough spots. So I'm anxious to see what Georgia's offense looks like. Florida, I know they've lost some bad ones and some questionable ones, but they did beat Tennessee this year pretty handedly. And they're at home. I think playing in the Swamp is a tough spot. You give them more than 2 touchdowns to cover. I like I like Florida plus 14.5 there.
Yeah, you guys are right. I thought they said Carson Beck was out too, but no, it's just Bowers. So that was my bad. But I still like Florida plus 14.5.
Yeah, and I like that USC minus 10.5 at Cal. I think they come out and explode here on offense. I also love the Michigan State versus Minnesota under 40.5.
Yep,
I don't. That game might end 3-0. To be honest with you. So
both teams can't score. Both teams. Well, Minnesota's defense is tough, but I think Michigan State's pretty terrible this year.
Yeah,
it goes without saying. But yeah. Any other games, Trent?
No, those are my 4.
I have. So you guys named most of my games. Like I said, I did have the Georgia game. I have Florida plus 14.5. I think they're going to play them tough. I also had, like I mentioned, Oregon, Utah under 47.5. Michigan State, Minnesota under 40.5. Trey's Colorado State pick. I have that total in the game. I have under 46.5. I think that's extremely steep.
It is.
But we'll see. So I have under 46.5 there. Just some other games to kind of keep an eye on too. I think Pitt's going to give Notre Dame a game. I think it'll be a brawl. I don't think Pitt will win. I think Pitt right now is plus 20.5, which I found a little steep. I think Pitt's kind of like that, just nagging younger brother that just whines.
Little Badgers. Oh, shut up, Tyler.
Just kidding. But no, one other thing I did want to mention besides the Pitt Notre Dame game is James Madison cracks the top 25 guys. They got Old Dominion this week. They're undefeated. So shout out to JMU.
You know what's crazy though about them? Even if but they are ineligible to do a bowl game because they're in that transitional period.
Which is so fucking stupid.
Yeah. Same with
that needs to change on both. No, that needs to change on both levels.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
You're right. And then Jacksonville State is another one.
Wow.
They're ineligible.
Well.
Yeah,
Same
they're ineligible
too.
So what I don't get is, wouldn't you think you're at a disadvantage? So like it should be more of a feat to make the postseason if you're in your transition years.
Totally, I agree. It's the same thing with college basketball.
Exactly. Who was it? Merrimack?
Bella Marine.
No, Bella Marine could play. It was Merrimack in the NEC.
Oh but who was it a couple years ago too? It wasn't last year. It was Merrimack.
Yeah.
I think it was Bellarmine.
And Bellarmine, yeah.
Bellarmine, that's it.
Yeah.
I do have a quick teaser here, college football wise.
Hold on real quick. You know it would be a really cool thing? I don't know how legal this is, but why the hell wouldn't James Madison and Jacksonville State say, hey, you just want to play a game?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I don't know the legality of it, but let's make our own transitional bowl game type deal, you know?
Yeah, that'd be cool. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, quick tease. My tease here is, let me pull it up here. I got my NCAA tease. Also a 5-legger here. And with this 5-legger, what did I tease it to? My other one was 6.5, right? Yeah, this one is, I believe, it's a 6 one. So what I have here on my tease is I have North Carolina minus 5.5. I got under 52, Ohio State, Wisconsin. I got under 67, Washington and Stanford. Over 48.5, Southern Miss and Appalachian State. And then I have plus 13.5 for West Virginia at UCF.
Oh.
So that actually comes out to be kind of decent. It's actually plus 350. So with plus 6 T's. But
another five-finger tease.
Five-finger tease. All right, anything else here college football-wise?
No.
All right.
I like it.
So a couple things here. Obviously, some other sports going on. NHL did start. We're not going to get into a ton of hockey stuff yet. Season's still heating up there, so we're kind of waiting, let things kind of flush out with that stuff. But there is a championship coming up here. World Series. And
right.
I don't know that anybody really would have seen this World Series being what it is. You got the Rangers and the Diamondbacks. Two lowest seeds.
They were both wild cards.
I know the Rangers were the lowest seed, right? Because the Rangers had played the Orioles
so
first
the
round.
Diamondbacks.
So the two lowest seeds.
Nuts.
That is nuts.
That's baseball for you.
Yeah, seriously. So we'll keep it kind of short and sweet here. World Series pick. Who you guys got? Who you got in how many games?
I got the Rangers in 5.
Okay. Trent?
I have the Rangers in 5. Literally typed on my notes.
All right, and I have the Rangers in 6. So I'm going Rangers in 6. They win in 4. In 6 games.
Trench is always copying me.
Oh, God.
You guys are adorable.
If I would have said it first, Trey would have been like, that's what I should have went first.
Maybe you should have.
One other big sporting event, 2 o'clock on Saturday. I know I am ecstatic for. I don't know how much you guys are, but I am super ecstatic for. And that is the Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou boxing match. Who we got in this?
I think Tyson's got it. Boxing's too much of an art, and he's mastered it. Ngannou won't have you won't be able to rely on the no holds bar UFC rules. So, I mean, I'm gonna go with Fury.
Fury. Trent?
Yeah, 1,000% Fury. If anything different happens, it's a total fix, in my opinion. I do think whatever the over-under is on rounds, I do think Fury will make sure it goes over that, in my opinion. He should win this in less than 4.
Yeah.
I think he's just going to draw it out for a show and for all the people selling the advertising and selling the pay-per-view.
It's a big pay-per-view, and I mean, I honestly, I do worry, though, a lot of times with boxing is how much of it is kind of set up a little bit. There's a lot of times where they do make it about the show, it goes the distance, and especially when you get these crossover fights a lot, is these crossover fights, usually do somehow go the distance where, hey, congratulations, I didn't knock you out even though I should have and could have. You're still standing, I'm still going to win, you're going to make a lot of money, I'm going to make a lot of money. And it was entertaining for everybody. So I do think, I don't know that it'll knock him out. If he does knock him out, I think it is late. Tyson Fury is one of my favorite human beings. He's got some memorable quotes out there. Most recent one here, too, is the reason that he's going to beat Ngannou. It's because Ngannou is too muscly. He has no stamina because he's too muscly, which, if you really look at the science of things, it's very interesting. I think he claimed that his pregame meal consisted of Big Mac and McDonald's. So just some interesting stuff here, but he's got it mastered.
So you tell me I could be a professional boxer?
Yeah, I think I could as well. The amount of donuts that I eat and everything else, but I don't know. I definitely got Tyson in this. I am excited for this. It's 2 o'clock, which kind of sucks. I wish it was a late night on a Saturday. Believe it's being fought in Saudi Arabia, so that's why it's at 2 o'clock. So interesting stuff, but it's the wonderful world of sports, boys.
That's right.
It's all right.
You know what else is a wonderful sport, Trent?
Yes, I was hoping to not get cut off before I could drop this in here. College basketball. Guys, guys, 11 days away.
That's right.
November 6th, which is a Monday, is when we get our first set of college basketball games.
Is there any big games here in terms of opening tournaments and things like that on at least for first games? I know as of lately, they've usually had a couple big matchups early.
Well, the opening tournaments actually don't start until a little bit later, more closer to Thanksgiving.
Okay.
However, there is a pretty good matchup between Duke and Arizona.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be a good one.
That'll be, I believe, a top 10 matchup. My understanding, I believe.
Not the first day.
No, not the first day, but I'm saying it's
early.
really, 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 really early.
Yeah, I know they have some high-powered matchups that they definitely have been setting up early, which is nice, too, because a little bit different than football, where a lot of times in football you got some cake games to start, although I feel like they've started to do a little bit different as well. So, 11 days away. Look for it. That is one of the prime sports for Beater Baker Bets. Check that out on Twitter. Yeah. Anything else, boys?
No.
All right. Hey.
That's all I got. Good episode, fellas.
Hey, have a great weekend. Enjoy football this week. Big game Saturday, big game Sunday. Check it out, the fight. All right. And when's the World Series start? When's that?
Friday.
Tomorrow. There you go. All right. So tonight, enjoy the World Series. Yeah. So thanks for listening. Appreciate you. Give a shout out to everybody that listens. Tell your friends. All right. We appreciate everybody that's listening. So thank you.
That's right.